All right, welcome to Late Night Tips, Whips, and Demos, etc. Hi, this is Captain Stitches, and I'm Jean. Trying to get this notification that's in the way out of there. Hello, welcome, Tammy, Siberian Wind, and Melanie Taylor is here. Welcome to you. And Rudy is here this evening also. Ola to you as well. Christine with Katie Crafts is here. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining in with me on short notice of a change in schedule. And Carol is here. Welcome to you, as well as Marcia Powell. Welcome, welcome to you. And yes, I'm back to one of my old time slots. The reason for that is it is later in the evening, and that really works better for me and Whip, who just photobombed us here, jumping up to let us know he is in the cottage also this evening. Welcome to you, Livy, in to watch, but not working on anything. Hey, no problem. That's all right. And Pamela is here as well. And we'll have to see if he'll come around to the other side. I can't get to him back there. He's just gonna. Oh, but anyway, and Kathy is here as well. Kathy Riles, welcome, welcome. But I was saying I am back to one of my old time slots, late Saturday evening, and probably will be remaining as much as I can, going back to this time slot, because as I was saying, it just works out a lot better later in the evening. Oh, let me see if I can get him up here over the chair without knocking into everything. Later in the evening works much better for me because most of the things that I have to do and may get in the way are done and over at this time in the evening. So that is why I decided to come back on my Saturday late nights. But now we'll put him down and hopefully he's going to go lay down. But, and Debbie Williams is here. Good evening, good evening. So I will still also be doing my Wednesday afternoons. So that will be the schedule for now. Hopefully there won't be any other changes, but thank you all for joining me on the late notice. And everybody is saying hello to each other in the chat. But this evening, you may notice there's quite a bit of stuff around me. I don't normally have all of this stuff around me, but I am going to be sharing some organization tips this evening, and especially sharing some of my favorite things that I use for some of my organizing. I can't do everything in one live that I do as far as organizing in the cottage, but I'm going to share some of the things with you this evening. And this is easier for me to catch too, says Tammy. Well, awesome, awesome, awesome. I know this was a good time slot when I was doing it before at this time. So yeah, a couple of considerations that went into that decision. But we will wait just a little while before I get too much in depth into the stuff that I have for you this evening. And someone is talking back here as well. I think he expects to get a treat. We will see if that is what he wants. He's getting picky on his treat. He wants a treat, but he doesn't want that one. Oh, there, he took that one. Okay. But hopefully he will, like I said, go and lay down shortly and take a nap. But just making sure I haven't missed anyone popping into the live. But yeah, most of the stuff that I'm going to be going over this evening is more like planning and project organization, I guess, if you want to call it that. And Debbie says, perfect timing. I'm reorganizing all areas of my sewing room. Well, we're not going to get to all the areas tonight, Debbie, but we're going to touch on some of my favorite things and the highlights, and that I will be doing more and showing other things in other videos, breaking it up because, like I said, it can't all be shared in one video. And with it being the end of the year and the new year coming, this is an awesome time for those of you that haven't thought about organizing. Who doesn't think about organizing? I don't know, but I guess some of us out there. But it's just a great time with the first of the year coming to try and get a little bit more organized. And there may be some things that I do that you haven't thought of, or you go, that would help. That's a great idea. So I'm going to share some of that with you this evening. And we will go ahead and get started. My very, very favorite organization item is my planner. And I did just get my new one delivered through Amazon. That is where I get it. But please excuse what's in the background. I'm sorry. If I ignore him, hopefully he will lay down. But it is Clever Fox Planner Pro. It is an hourly, weekly planner. And it's undated so that you can date it whenever you want to start. You don't have to start in January, or whatever, anytime that you want to start. But I want to show you just some of the features of that. And also, I'm going to just very quickly, so I don't want everybody to be able to screenshot that and do that. But I just was showing there how I color code mine. And so along with the planner, the favorite thing that I have that I use with that are the Frixon pens in the different colors because they are erasable. So if there's something that I'm planning and I make a mistake or I change my mind and have to switch something, I can erase that and change that in my planner, which I do every Saturday evening. I plan my entire next week in my planner. That is how I use it. And in this new one, I am going to show you some of the sections in there, which they do have a little card that explains how you use all the sections that are in here as well. But it has the little things for planning out your daily rituals, your awareness and self-discovery. Some of the questions are, what are my core values? What am I passionate about? What is my life's purpose? All that kind of stuff. Place for a vision board if you are someone that does that. Welcome, Liz. It's great to see you as well. She just got back to her sewing room and saw I was live. Well, thank you for popping on. And then it has it broken down into a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Ooh, I'll be very old 20 years from now. But it's what do I want my life to be like? And breaking down, that type of thing. And then it has a place for 1-year goals, 5-year goals, 3-month goals, and your mind map and stuff. And then it finally gets to where it has in the front. I know you can't see this, but it has every month, like the whole entire month breakdown. And that, of course, is for all 12 months. And then it gets to the daily, and it's got the hourly slots in there. I know you can't see that either, but on mine that I kind of held up color coded, you can tell how you can plan. You can break it into time slots and plan every hour of the day what it is that you intend to do every day of the week. And there was another notification that just popped up there. Sorry. And Tammy says, I just went through spring cleaning my studio yesterday, so it will be fun to see your ideas. Yes, awesome. And then the other part that is in this planner when you get through all of that, and it does have a monthly review behind those month parts in the very beginning too that you can go through, but it just has the dotted paper back here, several pages of it that you can use for notes and everything while you're doing. And one of the other things that I really like on this planner is the little elastic strap thing that they have, because I can put that right on the day that I am working on. So it's always easy to open right to where you need to be. But that is my number one favorite, favorite organizing tool, because a lot of our planning and scheduling is the number one thing that we need for organization. That right over there for now. And then I also have a smaller one that I can keep in my purse. So when I am out and about, if something comes up, I can jot it down in there, and I can have the important things that are in the other one in here also if I need to refer to it while I am someplace else. So that is basically pretty much the same as the one you just saw, just a smaller, much smaller version, and doesn't have all the time hourly slots in it that the other has. Welcome, Tracy. It is so good to see you. And then this kind of goes in conjunction with my planner. It is a daily journal that I use. My little tabs are so I know what month everything is. But I use it, and it also is not dated or anything. It has the months up here and the day, so you can circle the month and the corresponding number of the day. But I use it where I actually jot down everything and what time I spent on everything that I did that day as the day goes along. So I can always refer back to that and know exactly what it is that I did. If I'm looking for something, trying to figure out, okay, when did I do that? Or how many hours did I spend on something? It is in this journal. So that, and by the way, I get this at Walmart. But and some of these things I will list where you can get them in the notes below after the video is over. Another thing that is great to have on hand, even though you have it in your planner, sometimes you don't want to have to go through the whole thing to look. So just to jot down the important things for each day, and this is called a two-day, you can jot down what the priorities and important things are that you are needing to do in that day. So that is another tool that I use and enjoy. And then I have several notebooks and things that I use. I'm only going to show you some of them that are, I feel, important ones, which not everyone, of course, has to plan classes and tutorials and YouTube videos and stuff like that. But if you are, this is a wonderful notebook for that. It has a lot of us I know appreciate graph paper. I'm trying to get it. Probably that won't show up either, I'm sure, but yeah, it's showing up a little. But it is graph paper, and I add the tabs on it, and I am able to have in one place everything that I have planned for any classes that I do, any tutorials that I've done, that type of thing is all kept in here, so I can always refer back to it and have that. Is the other. And then these are just some of the filing type folders that I find come in really handy. I love this one because it's just a small one. It has just the little pocket here to slide the stuff in, but then on the back it has a section for notes and everything, which this is one that there aren't any notes on it yet, because this is for a block of the month that I am going to be in that is starting in 2025. So I've got my folder and everything ready for it to add everything that I need each month in that. And probably to go along with that, one of my other favorite things are these little pocket folders. They come in really handy to keep things that have several pages and stuff that need to be kept together, and you can slide them into a file, into a drawer, wherever it is that you keep that type of stuff. Ones that are current, and I will show in a later video, I have stacked things that file folders fit into on the other side of my desk that these all go in. And this just kind of shows how one of those are used. This is the one that is now filled with the block of the month from 2024, which is the quilt behind me. And we'll get to that a little bit later. Boy, I'm getting quite the stack over there. I hope it doesn't decide to just all of a sudden go. And then when it comes to all of your projects, which I know all of you don't have as many as I do, and that's a good thing not to have as many as I do. But if you do have a very, very large project inventory, WIP inventory, UFO, whatever you want to call them, it is really beneficial to have a really good organization system for that, which I am constantly changing that system to make it better. But one of the things that I use for that, and this one is the current one, is you can find these also at Walmart. They are a premium organizer, and it has on the top, it has a place for the title. It has project action notes area, and then it has project action notes here. And I start one of those for every single project that I'm doing. And as I work on it, I put the day and what I did that day. And then I have all the information with every single project that I am working on or have worked on, because of course some of them do get finished. And that way you have all the information for that project and what you currently have going on. So I use that for that. I also have that for, I use it for quilts that I have to do on the long arm or on a separate one. Or, and then in that same one, they're divided on whether they're on the long arm, the domestic machine, whether I need to hand quilt them, and whether they are for veterans or charity. So, and then the really big thing that I use, and of course, am starting new because I am changing over all of my projects because I have run out of room in my space here. And I'm always having to move things from one surface to another right now as I'm working because I don't have places to put things anymore. Yeah. So I am this starting and have some of it done. It's going to take a while, but I'm going through every single project that I have and deciding whether I still want to do it, when I want to do it, and if it's going to be a long time from now. Those that are not going to be done in this year are all going in the storage loft overhead. And I am putting those up. Even got one of these down to show you. The clear bins like this is what they go into, but my loft, you need an extension ladder to get up to. Now, if you fill that up with projects and then try and take it up an extension ladder, that is quite unsafe and heavy. So label your bins first, and I have labeled mine in a numbering system instead. It's bin number 1, bin number 2, bin number 3, bin number 4, etc. I do have a bin that is labeled holiday because I want to keep those separate from the other ones. But you take the items up and put them in the bin that is up there. But you don't want to just take a project up and put it in the bin, because how are you going to know which one it's in and where they are? So you do need to label those, have a system in how you are putting those in the bins. Don't want to just throw a bunch of stuff in and then you have to go through it to try and find what you're looking for. So that's where these project bags come in handy. And I have gotten the one that is, there's 36 total in each one that I have, but the one has different sizes, which you will find that the different sizes come in very handy because there may be small items that you need to put within a larger project bag for those. And you can also see through them. So it's very easy to label it with, not with, you're scratching on the floor. In my notebook here, everything has a number. It has the title of what the project is, and then it has which bin is located in. And in the bins, I am putting them in numbered order, so you don't have to sort through the entire bin to find the number that you are looking for. And when the bin's full, you can't know what to put first because you don't know what's going to fit in there and how, because you don't know what projects are going in until you are actually doing it and sorting through all of them. So when the bin is full, then I go on to the next bin and just keep my numbers going. So that is where these come in. And I really love the ones that come in the variety of sizes. You can get these all on Amazon. And then I have two other sizes. This is the most common one that I use. And then this is a larger one. But those come in very, very handy for not using what I use down here below. And I'm going to show some of those in just a little bit. Is you don't want your good project containers to be up overhead. You want those for what you are currently using in your area. Hello, Joe. It is great to see you. And June, it is great to see you as well. But so now I'm going to try and reach what I most commonly use down here for all of my projects that I work on. And you'll see that I have different sizes. And I'm going to take that off there because the most common one that I use are the art bin or the knockoffs of the art bin. And they are these. And they have a label on the front, what the project is, and the corresponding number that goes in my inventory sheet that I was showing you in the notebook. But it holds the pattern, which do not put your pattern book in here. That's another tip. Make a copy of the pattern from the book that you are using, because otherwise, if you have another project that you want to do out of that book, you're going to be looking for your book and wonder where you put it. So it's a good idea to make a copy of the pattern instead and put in with your project instead of the whole entire book that it may be in. But this art bin is a really neat one because I don't know if you can see, I think you can for most, it has divisions in it. And this is an applique one, so that really works well for that. The major fabrics are up here, and then there's room for the baggies on things that are sorted and all the individual little pieces in baggies that fit down here, so you know where to find them. But that is, and then just the plain ones like this is what I use also. And I have some of the white cube things that are custom made for these to slide in, that the major ones that I'm working on are always in. But that is what I'm going through right now because I have many of those, and I'm deciding whether I'm going to work on it this year or whether it needs to go up in the loft. And So Blessed by Jess is here as well. Welcome to you. And then the other ones that I use very frequently are this size. They are the ones with the little handles on them. I don't like them as well because they have a tendency, if you are pulling it out, for the handle to flip open and you can spill the contents out easily. But they come in very, very handy. And I use this size for, major projects. And these all stack, by the way. If you have two of that size, they stack on there. There is this smaller one that I use. This has fabrics in it for slow stitching on a project that I just finished up, as well as this one is deeper for all when it's got all the different threads and embellishment things that I was using for that project. But they all stack very nicely to go in your cubbies, this kind. And these do fit in most of the cubby style shelving units that you get. So it's nice that way. But that is an example of what I use for the storage that is down here for projects. And also some of the projects and the things go in those project bags that I showed you and inside that as well to keep it all handy, neat, and nice. And I see that Greenland Quilter Katie has joined us too. Welcome, Katie. It is great to see you. Okay, and the other things that I use, of course, is we all have to have binders, but I'm a little OCD. And the things in my cottage need to match my color scheme. Though I try to buy binders that are already decorated and match that theme, but if you can't, hello, Lorraine, welcome to you as well. But if you can't find something that is decorative and pretty that you like, you can always get the ones that have the slot that opens here and it opens here. And you can take your scrapbooking paper or whatever card making paper, and you can cut and you can make that so the part that shows is decorative and pretty, and just is makes it a whole lot nicer to look at in your space. Don't know where I got that trait. Could have been from my mother. But yeah, everything has to match for me. And then the other thing that I use, and this is a small one, I'm going to show you that has to do with something else, but the rolling carts, which they are behind all this stuff you can't see right now, but they're always in that corner. I have 2 of those, and those hold the projects that I am currently, I'm sorry, I just read one of the chat messages while I was saying that. The rolling carts hold the projects that I am most frequently and currently working on at the present time. So I can get to those very easy and know where they are. But though that is the majority, I think, of the organizing, because a lot of us are going through our projects, sorting those out and everything first this time of year. So that is what I decided to share with you first on the organizing. I have lots of tips on where to store those, how to store those, how to store your fabrics, different ways of holding your fabric according to what it is. And I will be going into all that later, and what to do with all those pre-cuts as well. But lots of other things, how to organize your desk and your, the area that you're actually working on. Those will come in later videos, so you'll be able to look forward to that as well. Hello, Tasha Quilts. I believe you are new. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And Melanie says I'm ironing fabric to make a walker caddy bag for my walker. Start PT soon. Okay, very good idea. They do come in handy. Just saying from experience. So I've used them many times, and I have more than one walker. But okay, so the other thing I wanted to share with you this evening is I did get 2 Advent boxes this year. I was going to go through them day by day with you as I opened them, but with everything that started happening around home, I just did not have the time to be able to go on daily. So what I have done, and both of my Advent boxes came from Soft Squares. She offered 2 of them. I got the B box right away, which was the bigger one. And she has a smaller one that is an A box, and I decided later on to get it. So I have both of them. And what I did is I pulled some of the favorite items that were in there. I cannot begin to go through all of them with you because, I mean, Lynn with Soft Squares, if you do not follow her, she has a Monday Night Live sale. Her and her husband work together, and they are small, owned company. But it is just amazing what she did in her Advent boxes. You would just not believe the number of things and what was actually in them. And which this Get this. Think about an Advent box and what size they usually are and what you usually get in them. Would you ever think this rolling cart was one of the items in that Advent box, which it was box B, the bigger one, and it was the very last day. But, and I use it next to my, that's why this stuff is on it. I use it right next to my recliner in the corner where I do my hand stitching. So that I have to say is the favorite item that I got out of both boxes. But I have pulled some of the other things to share with you what was some of my favorites. And everyone will have different favorites. Everyone gets excited over different things because of the ways and what we watch. I mean, what we use and what we do and some of our habits. But I must have missed Terry. Hello, Terry, wherever you are. I missed you. Missed you popping in. Um, yeah, which I actually, Lynn actually opened them all every day too and showed which I watched. But Tasha says she can't wait for the pre-cut video. She's overwhelmed. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll be able to help with that because I really love the system that I have for storing my fabrics. And Melanie says, I watched, yeah, Leanna open both boxes. And Tasha says, that looks fun. I just subbed to that channel. I want an Advent box next year. Yes. Well, if you're torn between which one to get the large, and they might do things a little bit differently this year. I know they're going to have an announcement on that, but get the bigger box. It's very much worth it. Or get both of them. Everyone has said the rolling patty was their favorite. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. Like I said, you would never ever believe that that was going to be in an Advent box. And there's so Terry, she says, hi, Jean and all. I have been digging through patterns to line up for next year. Been listening. Yeah, I don't have to line any up. I need to eliminate. But, oh, okay. So like I said, I have pulled a few items and I don't have it in exact order here because of the way I had to stack it. So I'm going to pull this one out because this is one of the other awesome things that was in the B box, and the way that a lot of the days were packaged were in the boxes that this organizer uses, which, really intended for photos. But I have a couple of these that, well, I have 5 of them that store all my beads and all my findings and all the stuff for jewelry making, which I emptied out 2 of them a while ago because I don't do much jewelry making anymore, and I'm using those for stuff for slow stitching, needles and stuff like that, sorting those all out and putting in the smaller boxes instead, so I'm not always wondering where they are. But this was definitely one of my favorites as well because, like I said, she used them. We'll use this one because there's an entire project in this little box that was one of the days. And then you have all of these little storage boxes afterwards to use for your organization and everything. Oops, making a mess. But there's threads and stuff in there, all handy, nifty items. This is the one that's got the needle minder in it, a wooden one, magnetic, and a little pin cushion in it. But yeah, awesome things in here. We even have a tape measure and a rotary cutter blade refill. But this was awesome as well. And this were things that you might want to have in your purse. But just awesome things. So we have that to store whatever we want in there. Fix that over. And then one of the other things that I enjoyed, I think more because of the saying, is this little backpack. It could be, or just, a bag to use. But it says it started out as a harmless hobby. I had no idea it would come to this. But I really like this also because you can, if you know you're going someplace, it's really handy to throw a project in. But I am using it for all the things that were kits that go together to sew that were included in that Advent box. So I know where they all are in this container. And then it can be used for other things later on. But so that was one of the favorites, and I forgot to put that back in the top of that. I'll do that later. And then another one was pizza. We got pizza. This was in the A box, and it's cute because you open it up and what do you see but a pizza picture, of course, but what this is, and it's not put together so you can't see, but everything is in there. It is a clock that you make yourself. You make a whatever one you want. She's got one in here, but a quilt block, and it holds a 9-inch square finished quilt block, and you put that in there, and then you have all the makings for the clock, and you can hang that in your craft room, sewing room, stitching cottage, whatever it is that you have. But I thought that was really cute also. So that was a great item. And now this one, before we do that, just so I don't forget, because there's a couple that I'm already using and have been using since I took them out of the box. And it's these two little organizers. I'm sure you've all seen these, but this is one of the larger ones, and usually we use it by our sewing machine or whatever. Well, I really like this one on my desk area because I can put the items that I use most frequently when I'm working on planning or designing a pattern or something, and have them all in here and within reach. My two favorite scissors, the one for fabric, one for paper, but in there. And of course, very important, fingernail glue. You use those, they fall off at the most inopportune times sometimes, and you don't want to have to be searching all over to find your glue to put it back on. And then the other one, and this came in the B box, is this nifty one with the slots, and it holds some of the little rulers that I use on my, tried to catch that before it fell, on my desk area. I don't even know where that came out of. Oh, right there, I guess. Okay. Back there. Oh, and it just happens to say soft squares on this little Creative Grids one. But yeah, it holds those all very nicely that you can keep right handy for when you are working on something at your sewing machine. And I always have a cutting mat on my sewing machine as well. Yeah, on my quilt cabinet as well, so that you can use those while you're actually working on something in your workspace. And then this is a cute little gadget that was in one of the little boxes that I showed you. It should have come with a warning, because I almost cut my finger with this because I was expecting it to be a needle threader. And it's not a needle threader. It is a little blade for cutting open packages. So if you have your finger here when you open it, might not be a safe thing. But now that I know what it is, I never have my finger there. And that fits right in the little bigger slot in the front there. So I always know where that is whenever I get those packages from Soft Squares or Amazon or wherever it may be, Back Order Shop, all of them. But let me make sure that I haven't missed out on any of the comments that I need to answer. Or Melanie, that's a great idea for all those small items. Of course, I didn't see. I use those for my handbag hardware. I labeled every box with the content. Yes, that's what I'm doing with my smaller items as well. So yes, thank you for that commentary. And Melanie was thanking her for that as well. Silver, bronze, and another. Yes, that makes sense. And Tasha says she loves the idea of a clock. That's actually been on my wish list of things I want to make. They do have some of them for sale. So if you go on softsquares.com, they still have some of them and you can purchase one from her now. So check that out, softsquares.com. And some of the other items, and this is one you may find funny that I really got excited over this. And all it is this cute little notebook, of course, again, with the little thing so you can mark your place. But I just loved it because it's graph paper. And for somebody that does a lot of designing of patterns and stuff, that just really excited me because it's small and portable and you can have it with you and jot down those things that you're thinking of when you may not be where you want to, and have everything that you need so you can have all your ideas in there. And it matches the cottage. And with it came what is a pencil box, but it flips up this way and it's just the right size for storing small items or maybe some templates that you need to be using on a project or whatever. But I thought that was really nifty too. And Joydy is here. Welcome, Joydy. I'm going through the Soft Squares Advent boxes and sharing some of my favorite items that were in them right now. In the beginning, I went through a bunch of organizing things for planning and scheduling and storing projects and stuff. So those of you that have joined late may want to go back and watch the replay and catch the beginning. Tasha says, I did say I was going to cut back my spending in January, but it's not January yet. Nope, you still have a few days. And it's, I don't keep track, so I could say I'm cutting back and have no idea because I don't keep track of what I spend. But this beautiful round, a rotating mat was one of them as well. And I do keep that with my small wool mats that are little. I keep that now with those on my desk within reach, easy to be able to grab and use. So that was one of the favorite items as well. And we have to look which one this was. Oh, okay. This is the Minky Kim. I'm going to say that wrong, but this is a panel and it has 3 different bags to be able to make and everything with it that you need. She's got the zippers, she's got the zipper pulls, she's got the tags, and she even has the fusible fleece in here. So everything is included to be able to use that panel and make all 3 of those bags. And see that. Also, she put a lot of her things in these project bags, which if it wasn't an item that I already use, I would have been very excited about that also. But have all those extras to use as well. But that was a cute project that was in there. And then also in one of them, which I collect pin cushions. And I don't use them all, but I do collect them. It is an item that I love to collect, and I love to collect unique stick pins. So this is a Lori Holt wrist pin cushion, has the elastic, which these aren't the pins that came with it. These are just ones that I stuck in there because I am using it next to my sewing machine. But then in this cute little birdhouse are the pins that have little turquoise birds on the end of them, or aqua, whichever color you want to call it. But I thought that was really cute as well and was one of my favorites. And this is just an example. There were more. These aren't the only fat quarter packs that were in it, but who doesn't love to get fabric? So all of the things that had the fabric in it were, of course, favorites. And those is just an example of that. And then there was also this cute little bag. It says, life is short, buy the fabric. Of course, take a bigger bag along with you when you're going to buy fabric, unless you're only buying a few fat quarters. And Liz says, I got that rotating mat from Soft Squares and it works wonderfully. Yes, I've already used it. I love it. Nice size. Great for on top of your small work surface or bigger one too. But no, I don't need a journal for spending, Melanie. I don't no, I don't have to worry about that. I know my limits, and it's that I was on an airplane, and this is how my feelings on some of my spending has changed. I used to have a budget and things, but I'm retired now. I'm old and we're debt free, so it does make a difference. But I was sitting next to a gentleman and we were talking, and he said that he was going to meet all of his family, his sons and daughters and their families and everything, and they were all going on a cruise together that he was paying for. And I said, "Ooh," I said, "That's really nice, and must have cost a little." And this was his response to that. He said, "You've never seen a Wells Fargo truck following a hearse, have you?" And I thought, no, I haven't. So now I always think about you can't take it with you. So when you get a certain age and you are debt free and you don't have those worries, you can think about it a little differently and think, okay, can't take it with me, might as well use it for some of the things I can enjoy now. But so that is why I'm not concerned with that anymore. And that's funny. These came in almost the same bag, but let's see what is in this project one that I pulled out. Oh, that is all the fabric, and this was in the A box for this cute table runner. And it is called Outside of the Box, and it has all the fabrics in here for that as well. So these, and each one had, not all of them were the same fabrics. So it had those three fabrics. Oops, there's four, excuse me. Those four fabrics in it to make that project out of. So that is just touching on some of the things that came in both those Advent boxes. I'm holding that wrong to be able to slide that in there nicely. We'll get it back. But right now I actually have the packaging, that the bag that it came in, and the little slip of paper that explains everything still, with all of the things that came in there. And as you can see, this is another little storage thing I use out here. It came in very handy for being able to stack and put all of the items in that I wanted to share and show you that were some of my favorites. And so you could see some of the things that were included in those Advent boxes, since I had said that I was going to share those each day, and then I wasn't able to do that. But so I hope that you enjoyed that. And I did say that I was going to get back talking about the quilt behind me. And I did have my folder, which I must have moved it with some of the other stuff that I had on my desk and was showing you. But this was the last 2 years I have done a block of the month in my Facebook group, for those that are in there and those that follow me on YouTube. And this was this year's block of the month. And every one of the blocks kind of has something to do with a star. You may see a theme on that going on. So they're basically, each one almost has something starry looking on it. Mine, I used scraps from my Civil War era reproduction prints. So mine is all out of Civil War era reproduction prints as well. And then there is no way this year for you putting your blocks together. You get to decide that yourself. And I just wanted a very easy, quick way to do it this year because last year's was a little detailed on putting them together. So I just did the plain sashing strips around them and narrow border with the matching and then the outer border. So this is the top is all completed before the end of the year. Isn't that amazing? I finished the block of the month on time. Well, of course, I had to make every block and did a tutorial on how to make the blocks. So thus, yes, why all the blocks were made, but I actually got them all put together. And all I have to do now is layer it and quilt it on the long arm. And who knows, I may get that done before the end of the year also. Maybe, we'll see. But that is, and I will be writing up the instructions for how I did put mine together, so you know the measurements and everything on that, and that will be in a PDF file in the Facebook group, Kept in Stitches and Friends. I have two of them. The other one is a VIP group, but that is a pattern that is for everybody. So all of the files for all of the blocks are already there. So that file will be in there within the next few days. And Zaza has joined us as well. Hello, Zaza. It is great to see you. And Jill has also hopped on. At the end, you'll have to go back and watch the replay to get in on all the stuff that I shared, the tips, organizing tips. No demos tonight, but that will come on other evenings. But I hope that that has helped some of you maybe get some ideas for the beginning new year and getting some of your things together in a way that you can organize all those projects and planning. I always think that great organization starts with planning. So you do really need a good planner. And to stay organized, you need to schedule things. So a scheduling planner is a great starting place when it comes to organizing, which I am a little type A, a little OCD, and I am always organizing and changing my organizing because I always think there is a better way to do it. Sometimes that can be good. Sometimes it can be bad because you get used to where something was. And when you first move it, you can spend a lot of time trying to figure out where you moved it to that you thought was better. That's not fun. But this system that I'm using with the numbering and everything, at least when it comes to all my projects, I will know exactly where they are. And I was going to do a D-stash, but in previous years on some crafts that I do, I thought I was no longer interested in some stuff and got rid of a lot of things and found out that a couple years later, I wish I had those items. So since I'm not saying this is something everyone should do because not everyone has the room, but I do have two very large storage spots. So as long as I have the storage space, I'm holding on to those items instead of getting rid of them right now. And they are going up and out of the way. So I have more room in the usable space down here. So that is why I'm going through all of that and redoing that in that manner, because I have over 200 whips. And I will not be able to do them all in my lifetime. There's no way I can do them all in 1 year. There's no way I can do them in 5 years. So I am keeping the ones down that I plan on working on this year, and everything else is going up in the storage loft. So that is why I started that organization, redoing it. So everything is getting a new number. The things that are down here will be in a separate notebook from the one that I showed you, and they will be numbered up for the ones that are down here and not up stored in the loft. And you see, that's a beautiful quilt. Love the fabric choices. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, just all leftovers from other projects that I have done. So, and I did notice this one right here, there's some embroidery that needs to be done on that before I can quilt it. The stems are not embroidered on that, and the little cherries and leaves are not whip stitch down. So I need to do that very quickly before I layer that and forget and start quilting it and realize, whoops, didn't do that. And Zaza says, I've done that too, Jean. Now I'm careful about what I get rid of. Yes, it's, you think at the time, oh, I'm not interested in this anymore. I don't need this. And you get rid of it. And then you find out, ooh, yeah, a few years later, you can change your mind and wish you still had the stuff. So, like I said, if you don't have the room, yeah, it's a good idea to, declutter and get rid of some of it. But if you do have a good storage area, you might want to hold on to it for a while. Just saying. But I think that, and Giovanna has popped in late, not late, nobody's ever late because there's always a replay, but at the end of wrapping everything up and getting ready to say goodbye until next time with everyone. But yeah, there are a lot of other things that I have to share as far as organization as well. And some of you that follow me do know that I am totally reorganizing my stitching cottage currently, which is taking a lot of time and a lot of work because I am going to be able to use my husband's workshop, which is also built by the Amish in our backyard and is a good size. I am going to be moving my long arm into his workshop and then using some of the area in there for excess storage. Yeah. Need a lot of storage for everything that I do. So the excess things that aren't being used right away will go in there, and the things pertaining to the long arm and everything will be moved in there instead. So it is a big, big organization overhaul going on in here, and that is taking some time. And because I didn't, to be able to use his workshop, it all has to, his tools and everything have to be sold or given away or whatever because they need to come out of there. There are some things that we store in there that need to be gone through and changed, and it does need to be winterized. It is not climate controlled like this is, and we have to do that. And I did not get that done before winter set in, so now it'll be spring or summer before that can be done. So I can be organizing what I can here, and then we'll be ready to get the long arm moved over there and have all that space that it takes up here instead. So that is some of the plans for the coming year. I also will be teaching classes this coming year. The first one is all ready to go. I just have to make a post with the information on that, and that will be posted in both of my Facebook groups, which the links for those are always in the notes section below. You can find that. And I believe I have covered everything. So thank you very much, all of you that have joined me this evening. It has been fun sharing some of the organizing things with you, and I hope you look forward to more tips, more organizing ideas, some working on whips, and also demonstrations in the coming year on my late night in the stitching cottage. So take care, everyone. I'll give you a little time for if anybody has a last minute question or wants to say goodbye to everyone. Terry was going to ask if it was heated and cooled. No, his is not heated and cooled. Well, it's cooled with a fan in the window in the summertime, which is plenty for me. But yeah, don't know why there's a warning coming up on there, but something must be going wrong, or I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that come up there before. Sorry, but hopefully everything you can still see and what is going on. But wonderful tips, Jean. Thank you, says Tracy. Thank you very much. Thumbs up. Yes, everybody, before you leave on your way out, hit that thumbs up. And I am trying to meet a goal by February 14th. So if you know somebody that you think may enjoy the things that I share, please tell them about my channel and have them check it out so they can subscribe or share some of my videos out so others can see and possibly come over and join as well. And so thank you, everyone. Have a great new year. Be safe, but have a very, very great new year and enjoy time with your families. Oh, you're in that area that's having all the bad weather tonight. Well, I pray that you stay safe and stay out of the way of harm, Melanie. Yeah, that's not nice. But okay. So take care, everyone. Until next time, remember, I can keep you